Do you have a 401k and some savings for future retirement, but don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? How often are you thinking about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies in the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident in your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website and give us a call at 860-430-5397. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. JPEX Financial Group, LLC is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. JPEX Financial Group is located at 78 Eastern Boulevard, Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Well. I got Carlos laughing already. Hey, listen, it's Speaking It Real.
Wow.
A wonderful coming up party today.
That was great.
Carlos, of course, man. Listen, I said Carlos is here. I got to make it work. Got to bring him back some more.
That was great.
It has to be, man. You see, hey.
That was nice. I was jamming. I'm like, what the?
Listen, man.
What happened to Speaking It Real?
Oh, he's here too. I mean, he's let's see, he's here too. Let's see, where is he? Not that one.
Vamos a mandarle un saludo a Speaking It Real Podcast.
You see that guy? I got him. I got him too.
I still love that guy. But yeah, those are some serious jams. Those are some great grooves right there.
Hey, man,
caught me off guard. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, wait a minute.
I bet.
That's awesome.
I always try to,
Well, sorry. Sorry for being gone for so long. Fatherhood has its challenges. I got a little 2.5-year-old demon who does not know the meaning of the word bedtime, and it would be next to impossible to hold a podcast during the time slot that we do, with my door constantly opening and me hearing, I gotta go pee, I gotta go caca, I want to kiss, I'm that. And this is like over and over and over. And this is every night. So it's a phase. I get it. I've been through this before. She'll get past it eventually. But for now, that's what I'm dealing with.
Hey, listen, as long as you could come out every once in a while, remember that, you belong on the show. We're good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think there's times where I find replacements. There's times where I don't find it and I go at it. And there's times where I just don't find it and I just say, I'm not doing it today. I'm okay.
And that's great practice. I mean, I'm sure you get your production skills going. I assume you've acquired some new equipment and stuff since we last spoke. No? You're still running on the same goods?
I'm running on a desktop. Well, no, yeah. Since we last spoke, no, I have the desktop. I got two lights that
What
are.
about your internet? That was like an issue.
Oh no, the internet's fixed. I bought a box, and
The
that
thing I showed you?
no, I paid $10 a month to AT&T, and
Okay.
it's a wireless gateway.
Okay.
You know, where I plugged it in downstairs, and once it read all the connections and everything else, I brought it up to my room. I plugged it right into the computer, and everybody and their mothers in the house feeds off that same thing. But you
Nice.
know
Yeah.
what? There's not much lagging.
That's
Everything's
good.
good.
That's good.
Everything's chilling.
Nice.
But yeah, today I got my hoodie on. Don't ask me why.
It's the
I
mood.
just do.
It's the vibe.
Yeah, man. It's the mood. It's the
vibe.
mood today.
Yes,
The
sir.
vibe is go ahead, have your hoodie on, and just go with the flow and go with the punches. But
All
man,
right.
Carlos, I don't remember the last time you were on, but I can tell you that we have had a lot, but a lot of shit go on.
Yes, I have
Okay?
actually thought about this show for a while, Frank, and I didn't know how to approach it. I could easily erupt and just let loose on events that have occurred, but I'm just going to ask you an interesting question, and I'm dying to hear your answer. And I hope it's a nice fleshed out answer with some decent reasons. Frank, since this marvelous election that we had in 2020, can you please tell me in any way, shape, or form how life in America has improved for you or any of us since the asterisk has shown up? I'm dying to hear what you have to say.
Well, I got a better job.
Okay, so hold on. I am glad to hear that, and I definitely want to hear about that. But let's just look at the health of this nation overall. Can you please show me? I'm trying to find something. Has anything improved?
Anything improved? I think we have had some improvement.
Please tell me.
Gas stayed at a regular rate.
No, it hasn't. I'm still paying way the fuck over $3. And that's up here. I'm sure in Miami it's even more. So no, try again.
I have free healthcare.
How? From work?
Nope.
How are you getting free healthcare and the rest of us aren't?
I have free healthcare.
Okay. All right. Was that an initiative or something that was passed by the government?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
just
know.
have free
All
healthcare. I was left without a job back in 2020.
I see.
I started working.
I see what you're doing here.
No. Listen. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Go on.
In 2020, I was left without a job. I started working June of 2020, but in within that time, I applied for benefits.
Okay.
Okay, I applied for stuff, and I got insurance for free
Nice. How long have you been writing on that?
since 2020.
Since 2020, you've been having free insurance.
Yes, sir.
That works. Might have something to do with your military deal. But
Nope. Wasn't military. Nope. Wasn't military because I had the military one, and I ran from that one. They were killing me softly.
I ran.
You know?
So, all right. So outside of you achieving free healthcare and you achieving a better job, things sound better in your personal life. But I'm pretty sure I can safely say that as a whole, as a country, as a nation, outside of Frank's personal bubble, Frank can honestly look around and tell himself, wow, did we fuck up?
Who fucked up? The people? Yeah, I think.
Yes.
When we voted for him?
Yes.
Okay, but you know what? I get that. and I understand that, and I could agree with you on that. But again, I go back to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
We voted for the better, for the lesser, for what was it? The lesser of two evils, right?
Okay. Right.
So
At the
2020,
time, yes. At the time, yes. We didn't know what he was going to bring to the table, and nobody liked her. So, yes, the lesser of two evils.
all right. So in this case, I think it was the same. In 2020, it was the same thing. If people voted for the lesser of two evils,
And I can't agree with that. We had, with the exception of COVID, who I think personally, anybody in that position when COVID hit would have hit the bumps that he did. All right. Outside of that, things were pretty damn good. Our economy was good. The prices we were paying at the pump were good. The world was quiet, which is super important considering the noise we're hearing nowadays. Dude, things were fine.
okay.
And in
But
3 years,
can you blame the world on Biden?
partially, yes. And I'll tell you why. I think, of course, this is my opinion. The way he left Afghanistan was the biggest flare gun for every asshole nation to look over at us and say, that dude's a bitch. And now it's time to make all the noise we couldn't make with the insane guy. And
But
so here we
they're
are.
not coming after us.
No, but they're ready to start the trouble that they've always wanted to. I'm sure Putin's been licking his chops at Ukraine forever. After Biden's blunder, now you see what's happening. China's been licking their chops on Taiwan forever. After Biden's blunder, China's like, yeah, now is a good time to do it. These are things. No, they're not going to come after us. They're not that stupid. They're not going to like just directly attack us.
Another nation.
But they're going after. You have to care though. It's look, because of Ukraine, we've dumped tons of money, tons of military weapons. We're now draining our supplies. These are things that affect us, even though it may not be directly us fighting, even though the leaked documents say otherwise. We're losing resources there. We have a strategic partner in Taiwan now who is literally, what was it just the other day that they had like a bunch of battle cruisers or something like that surrounding the island? They've never done that. They're as ballsy as they've ever been. And they realize, I think, that before the 24 election, if we're gonna do something with Taiwan, it has to happen now while this weakling who can't finish a sentence, even though everybody used to complain about how Trump talked, this weakling who can't finish a sentence is still in charge.
I'm glad the little voice you have over there. It kind of tells.
It's good. Because it's like that angel on the shoulder, right?
Yeah, that angel and the devil on the shoulder. Go figure. Look, man. This is.
And here's what scares me. I'll give you the floor. I'll give you the floor. Let me just finish with this. And I could say a lot more, and I'm sure I will. But what scares me is, regardless of who the Republican nominee is going to be, I feel this country is at a point where we can very easily double down on stupid and do this again. Go ahead, Frank. You have the floor.
With the next Republican president, right?
No. That would be an upgrade. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know about that, dude. Do you really think we could have a convicted felon or an accused felon as a president?
Know. Which convicted felon, though? The one that...
Well, he's not convicted yet, but he might be.
The one who tried to keep a porn star quiet, or the one who's been receiving money from China? Pick your felon.
The one that's been trying to keep a porn star quiet.
I'll take that felony over the nonsense that the other clown's been hiding any day. I mean, think about it. You have to at least look at this, all right? The concept of having another country, how would you say, possibly influencing you is real. If you were receiving, and I hope this gets proven, we really need to find out. It's not so much about Joe Biden. It's really about the fact that I think I'm at a point, well, I'm way beyond the point where we really need to see how these government officials do things to receive payments. And if you're receiving payments from another nation, that automatically makes you a danger because you are now at the, I guess, risk of being influenced by them. And I think a perfect example of Joe and China was that fucking balloon.
Okay, but wait. I did research on that balloon.
Okay,
no, that was not the first balloon that's been flying around. They've had balloons previously under Trump also.
Which is also, well, all right.
No, yes, they did.
Hold on. So, two problems with what you're saying, because Trump never knew. So, if there were balloons flying under Trump and he had no idea, why didn't they tell us this before then? Now, when Biden gets caught flat-footed on a balloon, they want to suddenly tell us, oh, by the way, we had balloons under Trump too. It's a load of shit. If there were balloons under Trump, they would have done everything in their power to make him look like an ass when those balloons were here. So he didn't know. And I don't think anybody knew because we would have known. You know damn well our media would have done everything in their power to make him look like an ass. But no one said anything. However, this balloon, we found out about it before it even reached Alaska. And he just let that son of a bitch coast over all our military bases, all the way until it reached the Atlantic, and then he shoots it down.
No, don't get me wrong.
You think that's a coincidence? Like, I mean, I know I sound
should have gone down long ago.
I know I sound a little tinfoilish, but I think with everything we're finding out regarding his monies and what he's receiving, these are fair questions. And I'm so disappointed.
Are you really?
Oh my God! Like,
are you really
honestly,
disappointed?
Dude, I don't care what you say about Trump. There's just no way he would have, and he showed us he didn't fuck shit up the way this man has in 3 years. Oh my God! Never have I heard in my life, which is pretty much as long as yours, Frank. I don't think we've ever had conversations about the U.S. dollar no longer being the backed currency. World War III. Like, these are, everything was, oh, Trump's going to start World War III. Bullshit. The conversation's happening now. World War III, the demise of this. And then let's not even get into this whole nonsense about boys and girls and fluidity and all that crap. None of that shit has happened until now. Right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, but okay, you're right. It hasn't. But there's also been some stupid shit going on too, though. It's not.
Go ahead. Talk to me,
dude. Let's start with Florida. Let's start with your buddy Ron DeSantis.
Okay.
With the new abortion laws that are going through in Florida. Do you know what a 6-week ban is?
It's ridiculous.
Most people don't find out they're pregnant until like fucking 8 weeks.
I agree with you.
Not people.
As much as I appreciate and like conservative leaning politicians, I have always said, and I've said it for a long time, and my song isn't going to change. The Republican Party needs to how do I put it? Not let it go, because I mean there is some dog in the fight for unborn babies, but to the point they're taking it now, it's ridiculous. And I've always said, you got to let go of the Christian base here a little bit. It's not to say you're ignoring them or disrespecting, but you're trying to follow it to the letter of the religious law. And that's annoying. Drop that shit. I have said that. Okay, so I agree with you on that. What else?
Okay. Here, I'm going to give you the other one. This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Permitless carry.
Frank, I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I think that's an experiment that needs to happen because there's so much.
At what cost, Carlos?
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? We're going to find that out. All right. We tried to go the other way. We removed guns from a bunch of institutions, created all these gun-free zones, and they are the ones that are constantly getting nailed. Schools, malls.
But this is the thing. This law, this permitless carry law, okay? It allows me to carry without a concealed weapon. It allows you to carry without a concealed weapon. It allows everybody and their mothers, as long as they're over the age of 21, to carry, right?
Right.
Now,
so
now, Have you ever gone shooting?
I mean, it's been a long time with my uncles in a farm in the Dominican Republic.
All right. And what did you shoot?
It was a revolver. I think it was like a
Okay.
what do you call those guns?
Like a Smith and Wesson revolver.
Yeah.
Okay.
352,
All right.
I think.
357.
Or 37, sorry, yeah.
Okay. That's a gun that probably I wouldn't carry because it's too big. Okay.
Or maybe it was a little smaller then. Maybe it was a 22, but it was just a decent sized revolver. That I do remember.
No, which is fine. Okay.
Right.
So you have some knowledge of how a gun operates.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now let's get this young buck that's 21 years old.
Right.
Right. Knows he could buy a gun, buys his gun,
Mhm.
starts carrying it. Has no fucking clue how to freaking use it correctly.
Right.
Is that the kind of people you want around carrying a gun, which is a hothead, where it doesn't have no discipline and he's gonna pull that gun out? Look, I love guns. Okay, by all means, I have an AR, I have a 410 Judge, I have two 9mm, I have a 357. Okay, I like guns, but what we need to have is people that know what they're doing with their guns.
Mm.
I believe that this law having everybody and their mothers carry is crazy. I think we're going back to a wild, wild west situation. Okay, because besides, look, you got to know the law. Regardless of the fact, you still cannot go to a school with that gun. You cannot be within 1,000 feet of a school with a concealed weapon. Do you know that?
Of course.
Okay, guess what? You're going to have these wazoos on July 1st end up at a school with a firearm.
They're still doing that now.
You know?
They're still doing that now.
But now
So
you're going to have
here's
a
the
lot more
thing.
people.
We're gonna. This is why I call it an experiment. I think, at least that's the way I see it, because everything you just said is true. It's valid. It's a valid concern. The other approach, or I think this is what they're hoping for, and that's why I said this is an experiment that may need to carry itself out and see how it goes. Is if you suddenly have the notion, Frank, let's say you've had a bad day, you're ready to just kill someone, you've had it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you begin to reconsider where to go if everybody and their mother was carrying?
Repeat your question again.
Would you begin to reconsider that idea, knowing that everybody and their mother, like you put it, was carrying? Yeah, I'll go shoot this place out. I don't know. People probably armed there too. If suddenly everybody was armed, would you suddenly think it was a good idea to go on a rampage, knowing full well that your bloodlust may end after 2 bullets because everybody's got a gun and someone's going to pull it out and shoot you too?
Well, dude,
So-
you know what? When you look at all these mass shooters, okay,
Right.
they've been some form of mental health.
That's the part that concerns me more than anything,
Okay.
right there. That.
So
That.
these people don't care. I mean, when you look at the Parkland shooter, I was about to say his name.
Right.
When you look at him, that kid was nuts.
Yep.
That kid had issues. That kid didn't care if he would live or die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you look at the Columbine, same thing. Sandy Hook, same thing. We're talking about extremists. Okay, well, maybe not extremists, but we're talking about mental health people that don't care. Okay, check out extremists. It's the same thing. They don't care.
All right.
So at the end of the day, if their plan is to go shoot a school, doesn't matter what gun-free safe zone they're in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they're going to do it.
So
You know
I'm looking at a chart here because I know Florida's not the only one. Give me 1 second.
what? That has permanent carry? No, they're
Yeah.
not.
We've got,
No, they joined. I'll tell you right
there's
now.
25 states that have permitless carry of guns. And I mean, you would think with the way you're approaching the situation, these 25 states would be on the news every day, but they're not. And so then you can even add the ones that have concealed carry. And still, it's an issue, and it sucks every time we hear it. But 25 states have this, and we don't hear reports about Wild West, Frank, because 99% of gun owners understand the responsibility of owning a gun. We can't do it.
What are the states that you're talking about?
Oh, hell, I just closed it. Give me a second. Let me go into my history here. All right. If my geography is good, which it should be. I'm not that bad. I'm looking at Maine. I'm looking at Vermont, New Hampshire, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana.
That's fine. Just Maine's good enough. Let's take Maine.
Maine. Okay. Nobody dies in Maine.
I know Maine might not be a good place, but shooting reports. Let's see. All right, so let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
How many mass shootings has Maine had this year? I think a mass shooting.
What, the 4 or more?
Something like that.
Okay.
So, well, okay, watch this. List of mass shootings in 2023. Okay, so, well, let me tell you, Maine has not had any.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying Maine is the model.
Right. No, I'm not saying either.
But the concept of the Wild West is not happening. It's not anywhere. Mass shootings. I mean, I'm going to paint it this way, and you can argue it if you want, and we'll try to find the data. It's the blue cities in some of these states that are having the issues. Where the cities themselves impose strict gun laws. And then that's when you have crap going down all the time. Now I'm looking at some other states here. Open carry prohibited, concealed carry with permit, California, Illinois, New York, and New Jersey. I don't think I have to say anything regarding those 4 states. You already know. Open carry prohibited, concealed carry without permit. The only one was Florida until now. Well, at least until I think it's July is when that kicks in. So I don't know, Frank. Your Wild West theory isn't holding up. I still agree with you, however, that to me, and we had this conversation in a previous show, where the mental health of people today just isn't what it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago. People... We're an over-medicated society. People are not as emotionally stable as they were in the past. And I think that does concern me. But, again, so you have that concern, but then there's the theory that if everyone's carrying, the idea of acting like an ass is greatly reduced because the nearest person is going to put a cap in you. And that's, right. I guess, that's the battle. That's the battle. That is the battle between those who want more guns everywhere and those who want more regulation.
Look, my biggest thing with this, in all honesty, is go ahead and carry it without a permit. I don't have a problem with people carrying. My problem is when you have untrained individuals carrying. That's the problem.
Is there any stipulation, and I don't know this, maybe you do, is there any stipulation involving training?
No.
No?
You don't have, no. There's no stipulation at all for involving training. And that's where I think the whole thing is, where, again, like I said, I'm okay. You want to carry a gun? By all means, carry. By all means. But you need some type of training. Because carrying a gun is not just, hey, I'm carrying it. And it's not just, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to pull the gun out just to pull it.
Right.
All
Right.
You know, Florida has that stand your ground law.
Yeah.
If my life is in danger and I feel it, I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot.
Yeah. And it's
You
always
know,
up for debate. Mm-hmm.
But it's all mental. You have to know whether you're going to do it or not. You know, and I think that you need some type of training to carry. You know, whether you're prior military, dude, by all means, fucking security training. Who cares? Okay?
I won't argue that.
You need training because you're going to have individuals that are not trained properly to carry. Look, I'm going to give you a perfect example. I know somebody, okay, who they've been carrying guns all their lives, and they're trained. He shot himself accidentally.
So I mean, then at
But
that point,
but my thing is here is that, and that was just a stupid move on his part because he grabbed it by the trigger when he went to pull it out of his waistband.
crazy.
He shot himself in the calf. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. It happens. Mistakes.
It's like those TikTok videos.
Right. You know what? A mistake could happen to anybody.
Right.
It happens to a trained individual.
But then training is irrelevant, though.
No,
I mean,
training's not even relevant. Training is going to prevent
well,
you.
okay, let me rephrase that. It's not irrelevant, but it doesn't seem to completely fix the problem. If you're telling me somebody super trained still managed to shoot themselves,
it's going to fix the problem.
I would definitely say
I
it
think
would help.
Minimize it. It will minimize it. Maybe not fix it, but it's going to minimize it because this guy was trained. This guy made a mistake.
Yeah.
He grabbed the gun by the trigger. Okay, and that happened because he didn't realize that he had a round in the chamber.
Mm.
Okay, when it's one of those where oops, I fucked up. You know?
Yeah, I think like anything else, I've learned that in this country we pass rules sometimes out of reaction, and sometimes these laws are maybe a bit extreme. And what they do is they watch and see how people will react, how it will play out in society. And if it becomes a problem, they'll make adjustments to the rule. So if Florida, again, we got 25 states, and for the most part, most of those 25 are doing pretty damn well. None of them are Wild West. Some of them have had incidents. I know Texas was one of them.
Texas is number 3 on the list. On the list that I have here.
Texas is one of the permitless carries.
I'm sorry, Texas is number 4. Florida's number 3.
All right, and Florida. So see, it's funny you say that because Florida is not officially a permitless carry. Let me go back to what you were saying. Texas is no permits. Florida, according to this map, was the only state where open carry was prohibited and concealed carry without a permit. So I guess at one point we had the strictest rules. If I'm reading this map right.
No. Okay, hold on. I think do me a favor. Go in the private chat a minute and give me the link of where you're at, so I can see exactly what you're doing.
Got it.
And I'll get it from there because what you're saying, okay, open carry, okay, open carry
prohibited, concealed carry without,
and concealed carry are 2 totally different things.
Right.
Okay, open carry is when you could just have it. Which states allow the permanent list? Oh man, come on, permanent list carry of guns. Okay, in July, Florida became the 26th state. Blah, blah, blah. Which states allow the permanent list? Okay, this word kills me. Permitless carry of guns. Okay, so we're looking at has to be all these no
The
permit.
Navy, yeah,
So you're
the
looking
the
at
dark ones are
1,
the no
2, 3,
permits.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so Georgia. Wow, I thought Georgia wasn't. And Alaska's one too. Okay, so there's quite a few. Required for open and concealed carry. So a permit is required.
Those are all the light blue ones. Like the
Right,
blue. Actually, no,
so
the regular blue ones. Yeah.
correct. So Florida is open carry prohibited, concealed carry without a permit. Also, open carry prohibited, concealed carry with permit.
So
So Florida,
we had concealed carry without a permit.
no, we've always
Yeah,
had
yeah, no,
concealed
no,
carry.
that's what that means. The open carry was prohibited in Florida.
Right,
And concealed carry, you could conceal carry
without a
without the
permit.
permit. Okay,
Correct,
all right.
correct.
And now we've turned into one of the navy blue states as of July or in July. And
Correct.
so, and I mean, let me see something. Like I know,
No,
see,
we're that
here's
darker blue. We're that dark. We're gonna turn to the darker blue.
we're gonna turn into the navy blues.
Where there's no permit.
No
Okay,
permit,
all
right?
Okay, you're
So,
right.
I mean, it would be an epidemic if we went your route and said it would be the Wild West. It would be an epidemic. I do worry about the mental health factor, and I think with every passing year, it's getting worse. And with the stuff I'm seeing on the news regarding our kids, I don't see it getting any better. And I'm sure as that continues, these laws will begin to change and hopefully will require at least more training, as you suggested, which I agree with.
I think you need to have training.
I agree.
You can't have
I
individuals.
I wouldn't feel comfortable carrying a gun around without hitting the range and being properly instructed. So
what that's gonna make me is pretty much just stay home a lot more. To be real honest with you, I stay home a lot already as it is, and I don't like going many places.
I'm not dealing with that shit.
No, man. Listen, Carlos. You've lived in Miami.
Yes, I am.
I'm sure you subscribe to Only in Dade. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sit here and you see all the stupid shit
Indeed
that people in Miami do, okay, makes you want to go ahead and put a cap in somebody's ass. Okay.
True.
The problem is that people right now, okay, and until July 1st, are not going to carry in fear of getting caught carrying. Okay?
Right. And so this is where you and I are going to eventually find out the future. What you said is correct. But for those that do feel like doing something, they do it without fear, knowing nobody else is carrying. Will that change if they now begin to think and feel that everybody around them is also carrying? That's right. That's going to be it right there, Frank. That'll be the be all end all on this discussion about permitless carry. Do I want to act stupid here? This dude, and this dude all probably packing. If I pull my thing out, so are they. And so unless you've reached that point, like you said, where you just don't care and you're probably happy just taking one person before 7 bullets come at you, I think the theory is that no, you're going to think twice about acting like an idiot with a gun if everybody else has the ability to pull one out and take you out. I guess we'll see.
I'm going to tell you who did not have a problem putting their gun out. This guy. Daniel Perry.
Yep.
So, for those that do not know who this gentleman is.
Actually, this is actually a great point. Daniel Perry.
This guy right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell the story. Tell the story.
So back, I think this was maybe about 2 years ago.
2020. This was during the 2020 riots.
This was during
The
the
mostly-
2020 era.
The mostly
okay?
peaceful riots. You know, the nice ones. with
The
fighters.
BLM
Yeah.
the BLM rallies.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Rallies. Oh,
The BLM rallies.
they're rallies now. Frank, you belong at MSNBC, man. Go for it.
What are you talking about? I belong in CNN, man.
I
I definitely don't belong in Fox.
No. You wouldn't call it a
definitely don't belong
rally.
in Fox.
You wouldn't
because,
call it a rally working at Fox. They'd call it a riot.
well,
But go
I
ahead.
don't know. I mean,
Go ahead.
I
There's
mean,
a pep rally.
maybe not. Well, this guy here. Oh, well, actually, I have to get a picture off. This guy here. Okay. I believe he was driving an Uber,
Right.
right? Because he is an army sergeant,
Mhm.
and he was in a rideshare driver. He's a rideshare driver, and he was indicted in a charge of murder in 2021 for the fatal shooting of Garrett Foster, who is also white at a Black Lives Matter protest in Austin, Texas.
It's racist. I don't care. Go on.
Wow. He was also charged with assault with a deadly weapon
You know that's
And
what they
then-
said.
conduct for his behavior at the protest.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Friday, Perry was convicted of murder.
Right.
Okay, so let's get to where the story goes, and let me find it here. Well, look, I don't find the whole story, and it's simple. I mean, I read it
Well,
prior to.
I
Okay,
have seen
The
picture.
guy, Greg, whatever it was. Okay, the guy
Whatever.
walked up
People. Uh-huh.
to Perry, flashed an AR-15. Perry went about and shot him.
AK-47.
Was it an
Go on.
AK-47 or an AR?
No, I thought I read it was an AK-47.
Well, regardless, it was an assault rifle.
Wait, help me out here. You're the expert. I just want to make sure. I know ARs are semis. Are AK-47s also semis?
Yes,
Okay. All right, go on.
you know. So, the guy was routing. I guess he shot his gun to him. Perry went out and shot him and killed him.
Right.
Okay. Now, where I have a problem with this is not that Perry was standing his ground. Okay, because by all means, I believe Perry was standing his ground, because if you're gonna point your firearm at me, I'm gonna shoot you.
Right.
But the problem lies here is that he knew that the BLM was going on. Okay, he had mentioned prior to that he might have to shoot one of those people. Okay, and that's what he essentially did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right.
so now the governor of Texas
Mm-hmm.
is trying to pardon the man before he's even sentenced.
Okay.
All right, I don't really agree with that much. You know, I think was Perry in his right to shoot back? To shoot? Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Okay, but should he have turned there?
So I guess a few things, and I'd like to know more. I know you and I like to shoot the cuff and talk in general. And this case, unfortunately, unlike Rittenhouse, wasn't as covered per se. Like Rittenhouse was wall to wall, and this case was not. So all I've seen is a picture, and in this picture, everyone I've seen has a circle where the AK-47 was. I heard about the text, and Frank, I mean, I think on this show, or we've had conversations about what do you do if you're stuck in a protest, and I think the unanimous answer was we're going to run people over because we're not going to be stuck there getting our asses and our cars beat down. We're going to hit the gas, and whoever's under our tires, tough shit. So We can probably say that now in this show, go out, get stuck in a riot, do it, and then what? Oh, well, yeah, we saw you were on a show and you said you were going to do that. I can't deal with that. People talk, and unfortunately, whatever he did text happened. I don't know if he knowingly did go into the riot or if it was part of him Ubering. I think if the fact that he's an Uber driver keeps coming up, I don't know if you've ever done Uber. I've done Uber. It gives you a route and it tells you where to turn. If Uber or if the app guided him into that, then what's he going to do? I don't know. Maybe
Hold on.
What? Are you saying, oh, well, he could have turned around, made a U-turn?
Yes.
I don't know how he got swarmed. Really. I don't, and you don't either.
No, right. I don't.
I don't know if they ran up to his car or if he just like drove his car right into the. I'd like to know that, but just based on what I know, it seems as if the footage is clear to where this dude was flashing his gun and he got shot for it. And I think that's exactly why the governor is taking this action. And I think furthermore, now I think we're running into a problem in this country. Trump is a shining example of it, where you're having certain cases tried in certain cities where you're not going to get a fair trial because of the overwhelming population of the area and how they think and feel. That this is now, and I'm not saying this because of Trump. It's becoming a problem. Perry is another situation. Austin is very blue. It's a bright blue spot in the red state of Texas. And so for you to find 12 juries of his peers that actually have sympathy for that situation, considering he shot a BLM protester in a city that supported the riots, supported the BLM movement, all that stuff, it's very hard to get a fair trial. Just like Manhattan, just like Trump. So I think that also has played into the, hesitancy of the governor issuing a pardon as fast as he has. Between the footage, the evidence he saw, and knowing that this trial was in Austin, the governor's like, F this. No, this isn't right, and I'm going to pardon his ass. And so I think that's what's going on here. At the end of the day, though, the crux of this conversation between you and me is if you're in a car, in a riot, and someone's like at your window with an AK or something, and you've got a weapon, you're going to shoot. And that's what happened. So I don't blame, personally, I don't blame the governor for the move. I don't. Unless I find out more about how he ended up there, that's my position on that situation.
All right. What do you think about your buddy here? I know we kind of touched up on it earlier.
Load of bullshit. So here's the thing. From what I've heard, Frank, first of all, where to begin? What he's being charged for, Frank, every president prior to him, well, let me not say every, but numerous, have done this. It's non-disclosure agreements. It's paying money to keep someone else quiet. Now, Bill Clinton did it with what's her name? Hillary Clinton paid $1 million on a dossier for that whole Russia bullshit.
Okay, but supposedly,
right,
this was done more with campaign funds,
which is funny because I've seen the breakdown.
I haven't. I'm just
first of all, the crime he's accused of is a misdemeanor, and secondly, it's already run its statute of limitations, meaning it happened so long ago you can't charge him. This jackass in Manhattan is trying to say that those payments were to cover up a more serious crime, which he never mentioned, which is completely not how you go to court, Frank. Frank, if you're charged with something and I'm there as the opposing attorney and I'm like, Frank Cuesta paid money to so-and-so to cover up for something much more sinister he was doing, the first thing you're going to be doing in that chair is asking yourself, What the fuck was I covering up? Would you tell me? And his answer to the reporters was, I don't have to tell you because it's not the law. What kind of bullshit is that?
Could it be that he was covering up grabbing her pussy?
Really? So then let's go down that road. Let's go down that road. All right. Here's the other problem. She has, and there's a document, you could look it up online. She has a signed affidavit, a signed sworn testimony stating she did not have an affair with him. The lawyer who's supposedly in on all this, Cohen, the one who made the payments, he's also on record, signed sworn testimony that Trump used his own money to pay this off. So, Frank, help me out here. What the fuck's the crime?
Well, let's see. Bill Clinton didn't have sexual relations.
Oh,
she just swallowed. So what's the difference?
I'll tell you the difference.
One's a Republican, one's a Democrat.
He lied. No, not even that. He lied under oath, and that is perjury. And that's why they got him. He lied under oath. That's the deal with Bill Clinton. I'm sorry. I know everybody who hates Trump is all happy. Y haciéndose la paja. I get it. But there's nothing here. I mean, until he tells us, and then there's more. I'll go into it a little bit further, Frank. Until he tells us what this supposed crime he was covering up with these monies, I don't understand it. And here's another thing. He says it's a campaign finance crime. But you didn't see it. So he's basically, what he did was he took every single payment and made it a felony. That's how he got to 34. But the dates of all these, I did
see that, and I was trying to figure that out.
That's all he did.
I heard something about that, and I'm like, wait a minute.
All of these payments, though, occurred in 2017, in the middle of 2017. Frank, he was already president. So there's no way he can try to affect an election by spending money after he's already president. Frank, listen, honestly, man, if there was something there, I would concede and tell you, hey, man, it looks like he really fucking bit it. But I've got nothing. This is un potaje without the potaje. I don't know how else to say it.
I don't know, man. I think we're gonna let time dictate.
What I love is that he's getting his ass sued now. I love the fact that Congress, because here's the deal. Congress is now calling people in to understand exactly how this investigation began and why it's even happening. And I know he's trying to complain about their interfering, but the truth of the matter is federal money was used in this, which doesn't make any sense because it's a state crime. Frank, this whole thing smells. And as much as you hate Trump, I can't figure out. No, I can, because some people are just deranged and they have TDS. But for those of us who have a little common sense, I can't understand why people can't see that this and everything else we've been through with Trump has been fabricated bullshit.
I don't think everything's been fabricated.
I mean, help me out here.
Don't become a Trumpista now, okay?
I'm not, but I mean, really.
But I don't think everything's been fabricated. I think that when it comes down to Trump,
Russia was fabricated. That's 3 years of pure fabrication, and that's proven. Yes, what was the first impeachment about?
I don't remember. It's been so long. I barely remember yesterday.
I know the second one was the stupid phone call, which fabricated. The first one, I can't remember now.
He's been impeached, what, 3 times?
Twice.
That's right, yeah.
Twice. What the hell was it? I can't remember, but it was crap too because there was nothing there. And so, but the thing is, Frank, if you understand politics, and I know you do, the intended consequence of Trump going through this isn't so much to get him arrested, even though people would love to see that.
Oh, I would just love to see the show.
Yeah, right. But see, it's because you said something on your video on Facebook when you were talking and you were like, I wonder what Carlos thinks. And I said, I'll tell you. That video when you were in the car.
Oh, that was last week. I was in the car,
right.
yes.
The whole point of this with Trump being arrested goes to exactly what you said in that video, which is, I'm sick and tired of hearing of Trump. That is what they want the entire country to believe and think when it comes to this next election. They want everybody to feel the same way you do when it comes time for November of next year. And that's why he's going through this. That's it.
Well, I mean, I've been sick and tired of hearing of Trump since fucking the
right. But those of us who appreciate what he did, I mean, we understand.
I'm not saying I appreciate what he did.
I did,
because I think he built the circus. All right. And Biden's right now head of the circus, running the circus. Okay?
He's actually set that circus on fire. I mean, the elephants are screaming in the cages, dude.
All right. So, I personally think that, and this is not even to defend Trump or anything, but for us as a nation to indict a president or a former president is that, number one, we have nothing better to do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And this country is going to shits.
Right, because there are consequences that come with this
now. And now, I don't mean just the Democrats to the Republicans, right? It's going both ways.
It will. It will.
Okay. No, not that it will. It's going both ways as it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, with indictments now that they've indicted Trump, if they smell anything on Biden, he'll be indicted, and the next one, and the next one, and then before you know it, politicians left and right are going to start getting indicted. Dude, this is a snowball we should not have begun to roll down the mountain, but here we are.
This is stuff that you would actually probably only see in the movies. All right.
Right.
And if that, now you're seeing it, and now you're seeing it in real life.
Did you hear what the guy from the president from was it El Salvador said?
No.
He said straight up, he goes, you know what? Now that they've done this to Trump, the United States has zero right to tell any of us about democracy. Like, you lost
absolutely
it. You lost it. Like,
absolutely.
You are now
absolutely correct.
You are now in bed with all of us who've done this. And so
absolutely. And the problem is that let's just say for argument's sake, right? And I'm sure whoever's listening out there, especially the Cuban Republicans, let's say that the Democratic Party is a communist party.
Oh, you're actually entertaining that idea now.
Okay. No. I'm not entertaining that idea.
Go.
But let's say for argument's sake it is, right?
Uh-huh.
Who's going to really take us out of power anyways?
What do you mean?
Who's going to take a communist party out of the United States? Nobody. No one can touch us.
Well, Frank, that's what I was singing when we first started this show, and you and Joe and them kept calling me crazy. I'm like, once you get down that road, man, you can't change things. I mean, sure.
And I agree to, hey, look, you know what? We have to make things better. We got to make things right. I really, don't think that Trump is the answer for starters. Okay, and both parties need to learn to fucking get along without stabbing each other in the back.
It's bitter right now, man. There's a
lot of bitter. It's very bitter.
I think with the things the Republicans have gone through the last 4 years with the investigations and everything, they're going to want their payback before peace is made. I mean, imagine, Frank, you and I hang out and I make a weekly habit of insulting you, putting you down, making you feel like shit. And I do this for 4 years. And then suddenly when I know you have the upper hand, I'm like, you know what, Frank, maybe we should get along. What are you going to tell me, Frank? go fuck yourself.
No, because we're friends. I'm not gonna take it personal.
You
Listen,
know
man,
you're gonna want to get your licks in before you finally stop and say, "Hey, I'm good now." At
when I
least
was in the military, that's how it was, man.
I don't
All
know.
right, you
But
sat there
listen,
and you spoke shit about each other.
you
You joked around. You put each other down.
you are
You know,
more
but
sensible than the average human being. But if someone feels bullied and they've been getting it for quite some time and they finally feel that they've got some leverage, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna want a little comeuppance before they finally look at you and say, you know what, I'm good. And so I don't know. I don't know. And here's the worst part. Most Republican voters are at that point where they are now wanting Republican politicians to become as dirty and as nasty as the Democrat ones have. So no, this isn't going to go away anytime
but
soon.
some Republicans politicians are dirty.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to
They're
say
pretty
that they're
bad.
clean. It's
You
just
know,
they,
it's
it's only going to get worse now. I mean, Trump could have sicked 30 DAs on Hillary and put her in jail, but he didn't. And you know, you could go on and on about this, but now I think now it even came out that Biden was more than likely the person in who was behind raiding Trump's home. This is personal. It's personal now. It's personal now. I don't know.
well, it's so personal that I would love to hear your final thoughts.
I mean, you know, as much as I worry about things, I can only focus on what I can control. My business, the family, um, things like that. I think I've aired my grievances and my extreme concerns about the deterioration of things. And I mean, we could do a whole nother hour on what else I think is going wrong. We can try that maybe next week. But
On a Friday.
um, but I got to try to keep focus on what I can and try to grow the business and just be the best dad I can be and the best husband I can be. But it's good to be back. It was good to get this off my chest, knowing that you see things a little differently than I do, and hearing everything I've heard over the last few months. I was just like, how do I approach this without completely losing my shit? Because there are some things going on that I'm absolutely pissed off about, but I must remain calm. So
No, you know what? You remain calm. You didn't go nuts. I mean, then again, look, Carlos, this is the way our show's always been. You know, it's always been, hey, let's get the shit out there and let's just talk about it. You know, there's no need get in a fight. There's no need. You know, we're gonna argue our topics back and forth, whether we agree or we don't agree. You know, but that's basically it. You know,
yeah,
it's
man.
at the end of the day, it's let's get it out there, and whoever listens. Whoever doesn't.
That's
You
cool.
know, but on a real note, you know, I do freight forwarding for a living, right?
Okay.
This is just going off real topic there, and I want to say about 2 months ago, I get a phone call from one of the trucking companies I use. He's like, "Hey, Frank." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Dave?" He goes, "I didn't know you were famous." I'm like, "What are you talking about, famous?" He goes, "Yeah, man, you have your own podcast." I'm like, "Oh shit, yes I do."
Yeah.
I'm like, "How in the hell?" He's like, "Man, I listen to podcasts all the time." I'm like, "Well, you
Nice.
gotta check us out." He's like, and he asked me, he goes, "Which episode do you think was your best episode?" And I was like, "Man," I go,
You got drunk in?
I go, you'll have to go back into somewhere. I think it was 2021. You know, where I think it was somewhere in July.
Mhm.
I was supposed to go to Connecticut, and I mean, you'll see the show where it was a great show, but it went downhill. It went downhill towards the end of the show.
Oh, I'll never forget it. When I called it, I'm like, Frank, your vowels are getting long, bro.
Yeah, they were, man. They were. That was fun times, you know.
Absolutely. But what are your final thoughts, my man?
Man, look, this country's going to shits.
Mm-hmm.
All right, whichever way you look at it. And this is the best way to try to fix things. You know,
Agreed.
I'm not saying that you and I are going to be able to fix this whole country.
No,
You
but we're
know,
still two of the people that can talk it out.
Yeah, we can. You know, just this is the way it's. You have to fix things by talking. You have to.
Agreed.
You know, do things in a right manner. You can't lose your shit over, over things. You know, you don't agree with things. All right, talk about it. Let's see what happens. And that's just part of everyday life living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't. You know, I can't go to my job just because I don't agree with my boss and scream at him, because then he's gonna tell me, "All right, not a problem," and he's gonna tell me in this nice, calm voice, "That's fine, Frank. Let me see your company ID, your company keys. Just leave your laptop there and have a good old day. I'll make sure I mail all the stuff you have in your desk to you."
Damn.
All right. So hey, man, look, talk it out. Be firm with what you believe. You know, and just go forward. There's no need to attack one another and try to find bullshit that's not there. Now, I think Trump is guilty 100%.
Wow.
Hey, listen. If I don't say that, then people are gonna think that I'm backing up Trump, and in actuality, I'm not. I say let the system work itself out. You know,
I'm not sure the system works anymore, but okay.
No, me neither, man. I think we lost the system.
Yeah, I think so too.
Ron DeSantis is gonna go nowhere, so it don't matter. It is what it is.
He should stay. I don't think he needs to be running right now. I think he needs to continue to work here in Florida. I think
he should leave because I want him out because he's signing bills that just don't make sense to me.
I think everything's fine with the exception of that 6-week deal. I don't know. He's trying to appeal to a base that I have said for a long time the Republicans need to kind of just
lay off the church stuff.
Easy. I mean, protect religious liberty. I'm all for that because I do feel that there is a bias against Christians. However, that doesn't mean you have to address their every.
Dude, look. This is simple, and I know we're going a little bit over and a little bit off topic of it, but
that's okay.
I was actually listening to Divided We Stand today with Jimmy and Joe. And Jimmy is an avid Catholic.
Right.
And and as long as as long as these religious people stay in their lane, right, and you don't impose your will or your God on everybody and their mothers.
But this goes both ways. But go ahead.
Of course. No, listen. I would never. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, don't believe in God, because I don't believe in him. But when you start spewing your shit at me, I'm going to tell you, hey, look, have you ever met the man? It's like on Sunday, Easter Sunday, he's risen. Who rose? What, did you see him? It's stuff like that, and I get it. People have their beliefs.
It's in the book, Frank.
Exactly. It's in the book written by man.
Well, hey.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. People need to understand something. Like, the reason the story of Jesus hangs as well as it has is because of what they call corroboration, which is 4 men in different parts of the world wrote basically the same story. So essentially, that's what gives credence to Jesus, is the fact that you had 4 people who witnessed all this and they wrote about it. And so that's where the power of the belief continues from that. I mean, if you're Christian, if you're Jewish, you don't believe any of it. But my thing is this, though, and I agree with what you said, and I think that's part of the problem. I think because Christians flex their beliefs, it sometimes contradicts other social norms and they get heat for it. For example, you had like some sports teams, they were having those pride nights and the jerseys were going to be full of rainbows and all that stuff. And some of the ardent Christian players on the teams were like, no, that's their belief. And I think it should be respected. But what tends to happen is the media, politicians, and aspects of society pound them down. Then it becomes a flex competition, and then that's when you start getting bullshit like this 6-week ban, because now two groups are trying to figure out who's got the most muscle, and that's a problem. That's a problem, and it spreads. I've always said, as much as I lean on conservative ideas, they need to ease up on some of these social things and stop infusing so much Christianity in it. But at the same time, protect religious liberties. So, and there's ways to do it. But right now, everyone's just trying to, flex and appease bases, and we are where we are. And they're going to learn one way or another that the majority of people may agree or not agree. And when they lose elections, maybe they'll get it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
how it goes. But hey, listen, of course, like always, I know we've had issues with people trying to comment that they couldn't comment. I don't know what happened today.
Oh, really? We had people trying to comment?
Yeah. I was getting text messages.
Oh, bummer.
But it is what it is. Look, I do ask, like I've said in every single show prior to, all right, share the show with your friends, share it with your enemies, or share it with your frenemies. I don't care who you share it with. Get it out there. Get it out that Frank and Carlos are doing a podcast. All right. Frank's going to try to continue doing on a weekly basis. I'm going to try to have some guests until Carlos can finally come back on a regular basis. Hopefully, we'll have him around at least once a month to sit here and talk shit. But you know what? It'll be all good. We'll figure it out. But I do want to come back on a regular basis, guys. Again, we advocate truth, accuracy, honesty, and the reasoning central to integrity of communications.
And a willingness to learn if we're wrong.
Exactly. With that being said, you might agree with what we're speaking. You might disagree with what we are speaking. But at the end of the day, we will be speaking it real. Now, I'm going to close with Carlos's favorite closing today.
Oh my.
Catch you guys next week.
Speaking the Real Podcast. Vamos a mandarle ahí a Speaking the Real Podcast. Oye, ¿te enteraste del nuevo podcast? ¿Cuál es? De Speaking Real. Speaking is Real, normal. Oye, mi inglés está malo, pero Speaking is Real es lo mejor, mi hermano. Vengo descargando de antemano para que sepa. Si quiere un podcast bueno, mire, Speaking, que se respeta. Para que lo sepas, están duros y le meten. Speaking Real, pana, no hay billete, pero sí hay talento para demostrar. Y cuando estemos arriba, todito vamos a ayudar.
Look, bye.
I love that guy.
Actually, yeah, we're going to go now. See you guys next week.
Thank you for watching. Speaking with You is brought to you by Clovercrest Media. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. See you next week.